Jon. Okay. First of all, I'm proud of the response that our team had. You know, our program is about not necessarily being perfect, but it's about competition. It's about competing. It's about responding. And the last two games, last week, we weren't good enough. That means all of us, coaches, players. That includes everybody, staff. And so for us, this week was about getting back to work, blocking out anything else outside of our locker room, taking accountability for what we all have to do better. And I thought we had the best week of practice we've had so far this year. The competition was great, going at each other, making each other better. These last 2 days in preparation for Charlotte, who we have a ton of respect for. You know, for if you look at them statistically, if you just looked at them not knowing, they're an ACC team. You know, all their players have either played in Power 5 level or they are Power 5 players. And the main focus for us was our defense. And that's what we talked about. And I know, look, our offense hasn't been as good, but it's because we're thinking about it too much. And so I love the collective effort on the defensive end. And of course, when you do that, you end up having the most points you've scored in the first half all year, because you're just sharing, you're focusing on just, you know, giving it everything you have. So I'm proud of the response. You know, individually, I just want to recognize a couple guys. You know, I thought Mark Mitchell had a great game. He made some passes. He got 12 free throws. He drove the ball stronger than he had all year. You know, he's a key guy for us. And with Tyrese being out, you always need other guys to step up. And Jalen Blake's, you know, look, it's the 3 of 3 from 3, the 5 of 5 from the field is great. But to me, it's more about the energy and the defense that he brought. He brings a tenacity to our team that we need. And then, you know, for any of these freshmen, but specifically for Jared, you know, he goes through probably the worst shooting stretch he's had in his life. And hadn't played as well. We lose, and a lot of attention on it. And for him to come out the way he did, it just shows talks about his character. And he's tough-minded. And with Tyrese being out, you know, Caleb Foster, you know Caleb's going to be ready to go as well. So I'll answer any questions, but for me, really proud. And the last thing, it's an exciting day for Duke. You know, getting Coach Manny Diaz, the fact he was here for our game. I know he had a press conference earlier. We were able to bring him back, him and his family back in the locker room, and just getting to meet and to know him and what he's all about. It's exciting because I know he's all about defense. He's all about toughness. Our program has been able to build on that the last couple years, but I know he'll take it to new heights. So congratulations to him and Duke football, and really Duke for an exciting day.
Jon, you mentioned the practices. Each player said that they felt like they're better already from the practices. They feel like a different team. Do you see that as well after this week?
Yeah, and you don't practice just where it shows up for the next game. You know, you have to take a step each day. And probably for us, one, there's especially the last couple of weeks, you're playing so many games, you're not having the contact as much in practice, which I take responsibility for. Like, I have to make sure we still do it, even if it's on a short turnaround, because it showed with how we played today. And there's a physicality that we played with. And so, look, I don't know if we've been the most confident team with how we played, and preparation always leads to confidence. And so we've really just emphasized, not on the result of winning and losing, but really the process of how you have to prepare mentally, physically, and then good things are going to happen when you do that. We have plenty of ability. There's nothing we don't have for this team. Like, we have it all. It's just a matter of preparing that way. And I thought this was a great first step. Not satisfied with it. We have a lot to improve on, and a quick turnaround against a really good opponent. But for us, this does give us the blueprint for what we have to do moving forward.
Jon, the assist totals were up today. Can you talk a little bit about sharing the ball and moving the ball and all that sort of stuff?
Well, we focused on defense this week, but we also focused on just what to do on offense. And, you know, I think for our guys, we haven't reacted well. When I say we, I mean all of us. I take full responsibility for what's happened with our team so far. And those guys have done a great job of taking responsibility with what they can do better. And so much of this, it's easy. You can point the finger. You can make an excuse. You can say it's this, it's that. instead of looking yourself in the mirror and saying, I have to be better, you have to be better, we all recognize we have to be better, and let's go. So for me, I'm proud of the effort with that, or the mentality with that. But on offense, just where the ball is not sticking. And I wanted to get us moving better, passing it better, and I'm not surprised at all with the shooting numbers because of it. And Charlotte's a good defensive team. You know, they shoot 50% from the field, they shoot over 50 from three. You have 15 assists. Some of the turnovers, I think, happen later, and we have to be stronger with the ball. But it was clearly, there's a feeling when you know you can get it back, you're more willing to give it up. And that's not because we're selfish guys or anything like that. They're not at all. But it's just different with how to play at this level and adjust to how teams are playing us. So that was a really good step in the right direction today.
Jared said that today was a relief with his offensive output, mentioning that, you know, getting some of the fans off of his back. Can you speak to kind of the pressure that he may be under as a freshman with so much hype coming in, and then what a game like this can do for him going forward?
You know, you hit on probably the most important thing, and it's, I feel bad for any player in the country, but especially our guys, where it's like they're not allowed to fail, or they're not allowed to have an off game. Like, it's not like they're trying to have an off game. It's learning what it takes. And we've been in some interesting situations already. You know, you play Arizona at home the second game of the year. For those freshmen, that's their second game of the year. You go on the road last week against a team in at Arkansas. It's as tough of a place to play as there is in the country. You know, and then you play where I think we're one of two ACC teams to play two road games in the SEC Challenge and the ACC start of ACC play last week. And so again, you lose twice. Not okay with me, not okay with him or anybody, but to do it for a fan or to do it for the people online, it's never gonna, that can never be what it's about. And for Jared, he's a guy that's really believes in himself, and I thought it showed today with his response. Never has made an excuse. Always just want to know what he can do better. And so I'm proud for him, but for all these guys to be able to, look, I'll say this, we're better today because we went through what we did last week. We are, I promise you 100%. That doesn't mean I'm okay with the two losses. That doesn't mean I'm happy with what happened. I want to be better without having to go through something. But for this team, there's a reason we went through this start of the year. It's been challenging and telling, and I've learned a lot about the character of the guys we have on the team. We're far from being done. Where it's a long way to go, and we have one more game before we have another break. So we have to keep our foot on the gas. But I think Jared, I think it just speaks to his character.
How is Tyrese recovering and see him get back on court?
Yeah, he's recovering well. He sprained it pretty good, and so you never know with a sprained ankle how long it's going to take. And I do know he's attacking his rehab every day. I do know he's trying to get out there as quickly as possible, but you know, again, I would think Tuesday's probably unlikely, you know, because he hasn't done anything, and we want to make sure for him that he's back. With an ankle, you can be back. It's hard to be back 100%, but we want to make sure for him that there's nothing limiting him. There's no rush. Like, we want him to be right as close to 100% as possible.
Last question.
Coach, could you talk about the response, especially on the defensive end, when Charlotte cut it to 11 in the second half? What you kind of focused on there?
Well, I didn't think we came out in the start of the second half with the same mentality. And, you know, Patterson hits a three then in the first half, which is a big play. And we told our team, look, they had some foul trouble in the first half, which credit our offense for putting some pressure, you know, on their defense. But they're a proud team. They're an experienced team. And when you have that lead, it takes the pressure off a little bit, so they're going to shoot freer. And I didn't think we came out. There's a big back-to-back plays where, you know, Jeremy actually fouled, I think it was Graves, shooting the three, and we gave up the three to Threadgill back-to-back. That's 6 points, and all of a sudden, you know, it's a game. And so just, the game's fragile. You know, you got to treat it right all the time. You have to play every possession. And besides that segment, I thought our defense was really consistent really with just 5 guys moving together. You know, we're learning about who we have to be and how our defense needs to be played as the year's gone along. But it's the best collective effort and collective movement that we've had on both ends.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.